So friends, today I'm going to share with you 4 different types of idlis. That is the instant rava idli, and how to make the simple idli with idli fry, instant oat idlis, a special idli with some special masala, some instant moong dal idlis. I'm also going to share with you different types of chutneys and chutney powders. So enjoy this video guys. And welcome to Akshata's recipes. Thank you so much for joining me today. So today's video is going to be another instant or quick recipe of rava idli or suji or semolina idli. And this idli is really delicious. It's very easy to make. So whenever you're looking to make some quick breakfast for your family or a light brunch or even a light dinner, then this is the ideal recipe to go to. So let's head on to my kitchen and start with today's recipe. So let's start with today's instant rava idli recipe. Now here I've taken about 3/4 cup of very fine semolina, suji or rava. This is 1 cup of dahi and some salt to taste and a little bit of water. Now first I'm going to add the rava or the semolina to my mixing bowl. I'm going to add some salt to taste. I'm going to mix both of these ingredients well together. Now I have a recipe of how to make your own dahi or curd at home. I'll leave a link in the description box below. And now we're going to mix everything well together, whisk it well so that we don't have any lumps in the batter. And then we're going to add a little water at a time. Now we want a very thick paste like you would with a normal idli paste. So just add about 2 tablespoons or 3 tablespoons of water. Add a little at a time. Now we want a very thick paste. This is the consistency. It should be thick, not a pouring consistency like the dosa consistency. And now we're going to cover this and keep this aside for at least 15 to 20 minutes. Now these are our other ingredients. This is 1 light green chili chopped fine. This is about a tablespoon of chopped coriander, 1 small onion chopped fine, a few curry leaves, a few cashew nuts, and 1/4. This is 1 inch of ginger grated fine. This is about half a teaspoon of udid dal, 1/4 teaspoon of mori or mustard seeds, 1/4 teaspoon of cumin or jeera seeds, 1/4 teaspoon of hinga or asafoetida, and this is 1 teaspoon of baking soda. So our mixture is resting, and of course we need some ghee too. And I've also got my idli stand all ready. So we're just going to coat these idli plates with a little bit of ghee later on. Now in a pan, I've added about a tablespoon of clarified butter or ghee. My flame is on low to medium. And now once the ghee is nice and hot, I'm going to add my mustard seeds and wait for them to splutter. Then goes in my cumin or jeera seeds. Next goes in my udid dal. Then go in the curry leaves, the green chilies. We're going to fry all of this well. Then goes in my grated ginger. Next go in the cashew nuts. The hinga or asafoetida. And now we're going to add all this that we fried together into our thick batter that we prepared earlier. We're going to mix all of this well. Now we're going to add the chopped onion. Mix it in well too. The chopped coriander. Now at this time you can keep your idli pot ready. And now last but is the baking soda. So just fill some water in your idli stand and let it start to boil on a low to medium flame. Mix all of these ingredients well in your mixing bowl. And now I'm just going to brush a little bit of clarified butter or ghee onto the idli plates. You can also use oil. I like the flavor of the ghee on the idlis, so I always put ghee. And now we're just going to take a ladle full of it and fill up the idli stand. Now don't overfill them. Just fill them with 1 tablespoon or 2 tablespoons of the batter. Now, this is a lovely breakfast idea or a anytime snack idea, and it's really delicious too, and gets ready also very quickly. So now my water is boiling. I'm just going to place the idlis into my stand, and I've put a timer of exactly 12 minutes. So I am going to let the steamer cook on a high for 12 minutes. And after 12 minutes, when I open up my steamer, this is how the idlis look. Now you can see that the color of the idlis has changed. That's because of the reaction of the baking soda with some of the other ingredients. So now you can just demold them. They come off very easily. And you can see that they're so light and really delicious. Now I've served them with my tomato chutney. I have put this chutney up in another recipe, so I'll leave a link below. You can just click on it to see how I prepared this tomato chutney. Did you like today's recipe? I hope you did, and I hope you will give this recipe a try. I also have many other instant breakfast ideas like the rava dosa, the rava uttapa, quick upma recipe, a quick shira recipe, a recipe for masala dosa, the filling that you put inside, that is there. Then how to make soft idlis with coconut chutney. I also have a recipe for oats pancakes, spicy oats pancakes. So lots and lots of breakfast ideas. So you can just go to my main page and there is something called playlist. Just click on it and you'll get all the breakfast, you'll get a part called breakfast ideas. So just go and click on it, or you can even type in the YouTube search button breakfast recipes, Akshata's recipes, and all the breakfast recipes will come there. Or if you're looking for anything in particular, for example, if you're looking for upma, then in the YouTube search button, just type upma, Akshata's recipes, and my recipe will come up first. I've also got a recipe for medhu vada along with coconut chutney and many other recipes. So if you like today's video, then don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. Don't forget to hit the red subscribe button that you see below this video and become a part of Akshata's recipes. Once you have subscribed, a small little bell icon will show up. Just click on that bell. That way whenever I put up a new recipe, you'll get a message for the same. Also at the end of the video, you'll see 2 boxes sliding up. Those are my recipes. If you want to watch them, just click on them. In the middle of the video, you'll see a white line coming up saying suggested. Those are also my videos. If you want to see them, just click on them. So thank you so much for joining me today. Take care of yourself, stay healthy, stay fit, be loving and kind to one another. And I'll catch you soon in my next video. Take care guys. Bye. Everybody, and welcome back to Akshata's recipes. Thank you so much for joining me today. So today I'm going to show you how to make super soft idlis. What is the right proportion of the dal to the rice, what is the procedure of making super soft idlis, and it's super simple. And then I'm also going to be including an idli fry recipe, which is something very different. It's not deep fried idlis, but it's something different. So you can see that recipe. So you can make them with fresh idlis, or if you have some idlis just left over, you can make it with that too. Now, normally I do serve my idlis with some lovely coconut green chutney, so I will include the recipe for that too. But this time I didn't make the chutney. I just made this idli fry, which was really awesome. But I will show you all how to make this green coconut chutney too. So let's start then, friends. So let's start with today's very simple and easy recipe of idlis. Now, here I've taken exactly 3 small cups of rice, packed it up to the brim. Now, whatever measurement you're using, you have to use the same one for the urad dal also. And the proportion is, or the ratio rather, is 3:1. So you're going to take 3 cups of rice. Now here I'm using the regular rice that we use for cooking. And I'm going to take 1 cup of urad dal. Now you get something called idli rice also. You can even use that. Now we're going to wash both separately, that is the rice as well as the urad dal. We're going to wash each of them thrice very well. First you will get this very murky water. So you have to wash it till you get very clear water. So, wash your rice as well as the dal really, really well. And then you will see that you get very clear water. The water is not murky anymore. So we're going to do the same thing for the urad dal too. And once both of them have been washed, we're going to soak them in water at least 1 inch above the rice and the urad dal. And we're going to cover and keep this for at least 7 to 8 hours. Now I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of fenugreek or methi seeds to the urad dal. This helps in the making the dal, the batter rather, really soft and light. Now we're going to keep this for 7 to 8 hours, preferably overnight. So if you're going to make the idlis, then if you're going to keep it overnight. And then we're going to grind each of them separately. So first we're going to grind the urad dal. You can use a little bit of the water, but we want a very smooth and thick paste. We don't want a runny or watery paste. We don't want a paste which has, specks of dal. It has to be completely ground, and then transfer it to a big vessel. See the batter? This is the urad dal. It's really, really very smooth and fine. And we're going to do the same thing with the rice too. And we want a very smooth batter with the rice too. So use a good blender or a mixer to get a very smooth paste. And then we're going to mix the rice batter too with the idli batter. And, use your hands, because they say the warmth of the hands also helps in really, making a batter nice and light and frothy. And we're going to keep this again for another 7 to 8 hours. And you will see that after 7 to 8 hours, your batter will double in size. Now this is in the night, I'm just keeping it. And, after 7 to 8 hours, you will see that the batter just fluffs up and rises up like this, doubles in size. And when you take a spoon and just run it through, you will get this kind of a consistency, a very light, fluffy consistency. So now I've just added a little bit of salt to taste, and I've mixed the batter to make it a very smooth batter. Now I've also got my steamer pot running. I've just greased the trays with a little bit of oil. You can even use ghee or clarified butter. And then we're going to steam them for exactly 15 minutes. So put a timer on your watch and keep it for 15 minutes, and then let the steamer completely cool down before you take out the idlis and demold them. And you can see that the idlis have set so easily and so nicely. that you can easily remove them, with a sharp knife or a spoon. They easily come out and they're so light and soft and fluffy. Now you can enjoy this with some lovely coconut chutney. I am sharing the coconut chutney recipe in this video, and I also have a recipe for sambar. I will link that below, and I also have a recipe for rasam. So these really idlis go very well with either rasam or sambar, or just with some green chutney. I also have a tomato chutney recipe which is super easy to make, and it's delicious. I believe that too. And if I leave them, if I do forget, then please remind me, so I will leave them in the links below. And then I'm going to make some idli fry. So I'm just going to cut them up into small even sized pieces. Here I've heated some clarified butter, about 1.5 tablespoon of clarified butter or ghee. I'm just going to add half a teaspoon of urad dal. I'm going to add 1 dried red chili cut up into 4, some fresh curry leaves. I'm just going to fry them a bit. Then I'm going to add half a teaspoon of cumin powder, quarter teaspoon of pepper powder, and half a teaspoon of coriander powder. I'm just going to add these chopped up idlis. Just fry them in this lovely phodni. Add some red chili powder and salt to taste. And that's it, friends. Your idli fry is ready, and it tastes super, super delicious. You can even use coconut oil instead of using clarified butter. And here is the recipe for a simple green coconut chutney. Now the trick to get the perfect chutney is your coconut should be freshly grated. That really elevates the flavor of your chutney. Now here I just have some fresh coriander which I've washed thoroughly. I'm going to be using about half an inch of ginger. I'm going to use about 2 large cloves of garlic, the juice of half a lemon, and I'm going to be using 4 to 5 light green chilies. Now, depending upon how spicy you would like it, you can alter the number of chilies. So just chop up the chilies. And I'm going to use some freshly grated coconut. You can use about half a cup of coconut. And a little bit of sugar to taste, just a pinch of sugar. And some salt to taste. And we're going to put everything into our blender. Add just about a quarter cup of water. And we're going to grind all of this to a smooth paste. I love this light green color of the chutney. And that's it, friends. Your chutney is all ready. So guys, I hope you enjoyed today's idli recipe, and I hope you will give it a try. If you do like this recipe, then don't forget to hit the big thumbs up button that you see below this video by clicking on it. And also, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, then please hit the red subscribe button and become a part of Akshata's recipes. Once you have subscribed, there's a small little bell that will show up. Click that bell. That way, whenever I put up a new video, you'll get a message for the same. Also, friends, if you want to find any of my recipes on YouTube, just type the recipe you're looking for, and just at the side of it write Akshata's recipes besides it, and you will get the recipe you're looking for, and my recipe will come up first. For example, if you're looking for, let's say, pav bhaji, so just type pav bhaji Akshata's recipes, and mine will be the first that will show up, so you can follow my recipe. Also, spread the word about Akshata's recipes to family and friends. And in the middle of the video, you will see something sliding up as suggested. You can click on those. Those are my videos. Also, at the end of the video, you will see 2 small boxes with 2 different recipes. If you want to see those, just click on those. So all that being said, thank you so much for being a part of my channel by watching my videos and leaving your lovely comments. I love to hear from you all, and I always reply back to all the comments I receive. You can also follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and my blog. Everything, all links are in the description box below. So guys, on that note, I'll end this video saying bye, take care, stay healthy, stay fit, be loving and kind to one another, and I'll catch you in my next video sooner than you think. Bye.
So friends, for today's instant oats idli, here are the ingredients. Here I have 1 cup of oats, 1/4 cup of fine rava or semolina, 2 tablespoons of chopped up cashew nuts, 1 tablespoon of udit dal, 1 teaspoon of mustard seeds, 1 teaspoon of asafoetida or hing, a few curry leaves, 1 medium-sized onion chopped, and this is the juice of half a lime or lemon. I'm also going to be using half a cup of curd, dahi or yogurt, and about 1/4 cup of water, and some salt to taste, and 1 packet of Eno salts. Now first I'm going to roast the oats in a pan for about 5 minutes on a low to medium heat, stirring continuously. And after that, once it comes back to room temperature, we're going to grind it to a fine powder. Now once this is done, we're going to empty this fine powder into a bowl. Now I'm going to just wipe my pan clean and I'm going to add about 1 tablespoon of oil. Now once the oil is hot on a low to medium flame, I'm going to add the mustard seeds. Once the mustard seeds begin to pop, we're going to add the udit dal, the cashew nuts, the hinga or asafoetida, and we're going to fry this well. Next we're going to add the curry leaves. Again, fry the curry leaves too. Then we're going to add the onion. I've just roughly chopped the onion and we're going to fry that well too till the onion becomes nice and translucent. Now we're going to add the semolina or the rava. Now I'm using this fine rava which I always use for all my recipes, but if you have the medium sized rava, just grind it to a finer consistency in your mixer pot. Now we'll fry everything really well till you start to get the aroma of the semolina. So fry this on a low to medium heat for at least a whole 5 minutes. Now I'm just going to add a teaspoon of ghee or clarified butter. This adds a lovely flavor to these idlis. And now once it's nice and fried, we're going to turn off the heat and we're going to add this mixture to the oats that we ground. Now give everything a nice mix so that everything gets well incorporated and everything is really mixed well together. Now we're going to add some salt to taste. Again, mix the mixture well. And now we're going to add the dahi and mix it well. Now I do have a recipe of how I make my own curd and dahi at home. I'll leave a link below. Otherwise, you can just search dahi recipe or curd recipe, Akshata's recipes, and you'll get my recipe. So mix all of this really well together. And now we're going to add water, but add little water at a time because we want to get a thick paste, not a very runny paste. So I've used just about less than 1/4 cup also. Now I'm going to add the lime juice. We want a batter like this, thick, a real thick batter. Now keep your steamer ready at this point and also grease the idli plates with ghee. I've added the Eno salts and immediately when you add the Eno, mix it up well and then add it to the idli tray instantaneously. Don't wait. The minute you add the Eno salt to it, immediately you ought to mix it and add it to the idli tray. And now we're just going to put it into our steamer. And now I'm going to, so the steamer should be ready in advance. You should put enough water in it and let the water come to a nice boil. And now we're just going to steam this on a high flame for 15 minutes. Now keep an eye on it. Put a, alarm on your, or a timer on your phone and keep it for exactly 15 minutes. And after 15 minutes, let the steamer come to, room temperature completely. Let the idli stands also come to room temperature completely before you demold it. And only once that is done, you demold it and you get these beautiful idlis. Now I'm serving it with the Lasoon chutney. I'll leave a link for that, and I'll leave a link for my coconut chutney also, so you can make either of the two. And these are really delicious. So give them a try, guys.
So friends, let's see today's lovely ghee gunpowder idlis and watch the video till the end for the idli recipe as well. So first I'm going to show you how to make this gunpowder masala at home. It's super simple. So in a pan, I'm going to dry roast 1/4 cup of sesame seeds or peel. Now we're going to roast this on a low to medium flame till the sesame seeds start to pop or splutter. Once they begin to splutter, we're just going to transfer them to a bowl. Now in the same pan, I'm going to add 1 cup of udid dal, and we're going to dry roast this on a low to medium flame for 2 whole minutes till the dal is nice and roasted. If you roast the dals really well, then the shelf life of this gunpowder masala also too is really long. So now transfer the udid dal also to the same bowl. And now I'm going to add half a cup of chana dal. We're going to do the same thing to the chana dal. We're going to roast it on a low to medium flame for 2 minutes till the dal is nice and roasted. And again, once this is done, transfer it to the same bowl. Next, I'm going to dry roast 15 dried red chilies as well as 15 curry leaves. And we're going to roast them till these curry leaves are nice and crispy. So we're not going to use any oil in this recipe. And roast these. And now when the chilies and the curry leaves are almost done, we're going to add a 1/4 teaspoon of mustard seeds and turn off the flame after some time, after about 2 or 3 seconds, and let the chilies and the curry leaves cool a bit. And then you're going to transfer them to a mixer jar and you're going to grind them to a coarse powder. So it will look like this. Now to the same jar, you're going to add all the ground dals a little at a time and grind it well. Then you're going to add 1 teaspoon of salt and 1 teaspoon of turmeric or haldi powder and 1 teaspoon of asafoetida or hing. So I'm adding the hing or the asafoetida now. Grind it once again so everything gets mixed and your gunpowder masala is ready. So you can store this in a nice, clean, dry, glass jar and use it for any recipe. So like I said, if you want to see how to make super soft idlis, watch the video till the end. So now let's begin with the star of today's recipe, which is this lovely ghee gunpowder idlis, which is super delicious. So now in a pan, I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of ghee or clarified butter. Let the ghee melt. Then we're going to add 1/4 teaspoon of mustard seeds. We're going to add about 5 to 6 curry leaves. And now we're going to add the idlis, so don't overcrowd the pan. And we're going to fry the idlis on both sides really well in the ghee. And now we're going to sprinkle a little of this gunpowder masala on top of the idlis. Turn them over, add a little masala on the other side and fry them well till this lovely masala coats the idlis. Oh, the aroma in my kitchen is just fabulous and I can't wait to dig into these idlis. And friends, I'm going to serve this with some fresh coconut and coriander chutney. So I'll leave a link to the recipe of my lovely chutney in the description box as well as the comment section. You have to make this chutney with this idlis. It tastes fantastic. I could have added it here, but then the video would become very long. So if you want to see my chutney recipe, I will leave it in the link description box below. And now fry these really well on a low to medium flame, turning them. And the ghee really elevates the flavor of this dish. Once this is done, transfer it onto the plate. And you can see that there's some lovely podi or tadka or the ghee that is there. Just pour it generously over the pan, over the idlis. That is, this is the ghee and the curry leaves that were fried along with the gunpowder masala. Whatever remains in the pan, just coat the idlis with that. And serve this really nice and hot with some lovely coconut chutney. This is one of my
So
favorite.
friends, let's see today's moong dal idlis. Now here I've taken 1 cup of yellow moong dal, washed it well and soaked it in about 3 cups of water for at least 4 hours. After 4 hours, grind this to a very fine batter. Now we're going to heat a pan and I'm going to use 2 teaspoons of clarified ghee. You can also substitute it with oil, but ghee gives it a lovely flavor. Once the ghee is hot, I'm going to add the mustard seeds. Then I'm going to add half a teaspoon of urad dal, 5 to 6 fresh curry leaves, half a teaspoon of hing or asafoetida, 1 green chili that I've chopped fine, and I'm going to fry all of this really well till the green chili gets fried really nicely. Now I've taken half an inch of ginger, just grated it on my cheese grater, and I'm going to add that. You can also mash it in a mortar and pestle. 1/4 cup of fine rava. Now I'm using fine rava, you can also use medium rava. Fry everything really well. This will give the idli some body, the rava that we've added or the semolina. Fry this well till you get the lovely aroma of this semolina or the rava. Now I'm going to add all of this to our idli batter that we prepared with the moong dal. Now I'm going to add some finely chopped capsicum and some coriander leaves. This elevates the taste of the dish. Now I'm going to add some salt to taste. And just 1/4 teaspoon of sugar. Sugar will balance out the taste of this dish. Now I'm also going to add 1/4 cup of beaten curd, yogurt or dahi. Just give it a nice stir like this with a spoon, or you can also use a whisk and add that. Mix everything really well together. And now I'm just going to add half a teaspoon of Eno or fruit salts, because this is an instant idli. There's no fermentation, etc. So we're adding the Eno, and now you just fill up your idli stand, prepare your steamer in advance, and then just grease the plates with some ghee, and you're going to steam these idlis for about 20 minutes and let them cool completely before you demold them. And you can see now I put the knife inside, it's come out completely clean. So these idlis also are very healthy and very, very delicious. So give this recipe a try, guys. So today let's see 2 different chutneys which you can use for idlis, dosas, uttapams. So this is the first chutney. It's super delicious and very easy to make. So we're going to start by roasting 2 tablespoons of chana dal. After that, transfer it to a dry mixer jar. Next, I'm going to add 1/4 cup of freshly grated coconut. I'm going to add 2 green chilies that I've cut into halves, half a teaspoon of cumin powder or jeera powder, 2 tablespoons of curd or yogurt. Next, we're going to add some salt to taste, and we're going to grind this to a fine paste like this. We're then going to transfer this to a bowl, and now I'm going to
temper it. So for the tempering, I've heated 2 tablespoons of oil. Once the oil is nice and hot, I'm going to add a quarter teaspoon of mustard seeds. Then I'm going to add some dried red chilies. So I've taken 2 dried red chilies, cut them up into 4, and fry these really nicely so that they become nice and crispy. And then we're going to add a few curry leaves, say about 5 to 6 fresh curry leaves. And this is our tadka or podi or tempering for this chutney. Just add this to the chutney and lift a little bit of the chutney and put it back into the tadka pan. That way we won't waste any of this tempering and we get all the lovely flavor into the chutney. And then give it a good mix. And chutney number 1 for idli dosa is all ready. This is super delicious. And you can increase the liquidity by adding more dahi if you want it to be more on the liquid side. And now we come to chutney number 2, which is made with fresh coconut and coriander. Very simple recipe. So first I'm going to start by adding half a cup of freshly grated coconut to my mixer jar. Then I'm going to add 1/4 cup of fresh coriander leaves. Then I'm going to add 2 green chilies that I've cut into halves, about 5 cloves of garlic, small cloves of garlic, half an inch of ginger, next we're going to add some salt to taste, followed by 1/4 teaspoon of sugar and half a teaspoon of lemon juice. And we're going to grind all of this. Now you can add a little bit of water, say about 4 to 5 tablespoons of water, and grind it to a paste. And our chutney is ready. This doesn't require any tempering. So these beautiful chutneys, do give them a try. Hi everyone and welcome back to Akshata's recipes. Thank you so much for joining me today. So today's recipe is this lovely chutney podi, which is an all-purpose chutney. You can use this with dosas, uttapas, idli, thali peeth, just plain rice and curd. It's just multi-purpose and it's really delicious. So let's just dive straight ahead into the recipe and watch the video till the end for a few tips about the recipe. So let's get started. So let's start with today's chutney podi recipe. Let me take you through the ingredients. So here we have 3/4 of a cup of chana dal. You don't have to wash the dal. Half a cup of udit dal. 2 tablespoons of tea or sesame seeds. 1/4 cup of dry grated coconut. 1 tablespoon each of jaggery and tamarind. 1 teaspoon each of turmeric and asafoetida powder, salt to taste, and 8 to 9 peppercorns, 10 bedgi mirchis, 10 red chilies, and 10 to 15 curry leaves. So let's start with the recipe. Now I've heated up my pan and I'm going to dry roast the chana dal for about 3 to 4 minutes on a very low to medium flame, stirring continuously. This is very important that you actually roast the dals very well, and after 2 minutes you will get the aroma of this chana dal. Now the chana dal will start to turn a little reddish brown in color. Transfer this to a large plate. And once you have transferred it, spread it around with a spatula so that it cools faster. Now we're going to dry roast the udit dal in the same pan. But the udit dal takes less time, so just roast it for about 2 minutes till it turns a little reddish in color. So roasting the dals is very important. Now this urad dal also will turn to a nice light red color. Once that is done, transfer that to the same plate in which you have transferred the chana dal. Again, using a spatula, spread it out so that it cools down faster. Now we're going to roast the til or the sesame seeds, and I'm using the white sesame seeds, but we're going to roast this for just half a minute or till it starts to splutter. Once it starts to splutter, just transfer it to the plate. So now we finish with the dry ingredients. Now we have to roast the coconut till it turns a nice golden brown in color. This takes just about 1 minute, but continuously stir it. Don't leave any of the ingredients unattended to. So now that it's turned into a nice golden brown color, transfer it to the same plate, but just separate it from the dals. Don't mix it up with the dals. Keep it aside. Or you can even put it in a separate plate. Now let all these ingredients completely cool down. Now in the same pan, I'm going to add 1.5 tablespoon of coconut oil. I've taken off the stems of all the chilies and I'm going to add all the chilies to this oil. Now adding coconut oil enhances the flavor of this chutney and also acts as a preservative. Now I'm going to add the curry leaves and I'm going to fry everything for a whole minute till the curry leaves and both the chilies are nicely fried. This is also very important. So fry everything for a minute till the chilies become nice and crispy and fried, and even the curry leaves become nice and crispy and fried. Now I'm going to add the turmeric and the asafoetida powder and continue frying for about just half a minute. And then I'm going to turn off the heat and I'm going to let this entire mixture completely cool down. It's very important that before we grind this chutney, everything comes to room temperature and is nice and cool. Don't try to grind it when it's very hot, because then the entire consistency of this chutney will change. So once that is done, turn off the flame and just let this mixture cool completely. So while this is cooling down, now that the dals have cooled down completely, we're going to add only the dal and the til, that is the chana dal, the urad dal and the sesame seeds or the til, to a nice mixer pot, a large mixer pot with a good blade, because we want to grind this to a very fine powder. So this is the powder. Now to this, now I'm going to add the roasted coconut. And again, I'm going to grind it to a very fine powder. So now that the dals and the til and the coconut are nicely ground, this is the consistency we're looking for. It should be a nice, loose, fine powder. Now in a separate mixer, I'm going to add the mixture of the chilies and the curry leaves and the turmeric and asafoetida, and I'm going to grind it to a very fine powder. Now I'm going to add the salt and the peppercorns. Now salt is to taste, as well as I'm going to add the tamarind and the jaggery, and I'm going to grind this too to a very fine powder. Now I'm going to add this mixture to our dal mixture that we have ground, and we're going to mix everything well and then grind the entire mixture to a very, very fine powder. If you follow all these steps carefully, even the shelf life of this chutney will be longer. I will explain that to you in the tips at the end of this video, so do watch the video till the end. And now just grind it to a very fine powder. And that's it. Our lovely chutney podi is all ready. Now, because we've been grinding it in the mixer, it is a little on the warmer side. So now I'm going to transfer it to a bowl or a glass dish or a steel bowl and let it cool completely. It's very key that it comes to room temperature and it is not warm. And our chutney podi is all ready. Now, once it cools down completely, I'm going to transfer it to a dry and clean glass bottle. You can even transfer it to a steel bottle. And now I'm going to show you how I use it to use it on dosas. You can use it on uttapa, you can use it on idli. So now here I've heated my heavy iron dosa pan for about 10 to 15 minutes on a very low flame. This is very key to get a lovely dosa. Now I've already prepared my dosa batter at home. I'll leave a link of how I prepare my idli, dosa, uttapa batter. It's all one batter. And add about 4 tablespoons of this batter. Spread it. To spread the dosa batter in this pattern, in this way, till it's nice and evenly spread. See that there are no gaps. Fill up the gaps with the batter. And then I just like to add a few drops of ghee or oil. Now you can add as little or as much as you like of the ghee. But if you want a really crispy dosa, then you need to add a little more ghee. And let it cook for about a minute or two till the sides start to turn golden brown in color. After that, you just loosen the edges and the center very gently with a spatula or an ulatna. And once that is done, just spread as much or as little of the podi, add little drops of oil, and just brush it up and spread it out evenly on the dosa. Let it cook for about a minute or so, and then just serve the dosa. You can serve it all by itself or with whatever chutney or sambar that you like. So, wasn't that really very simple? It's made with ingredients that we generally have in our kitchen pantry. Now, a few tips about the recipe. So, first of all, roast all the dals separately. Take your time with roasting it. Don't roast it on a high fire. Roast it on a medium to low and continuously stirring it so that the dal doesn't get burned. Like the chana dal might take about 3 to 4 minutes. The urad dal might just take about 2 minutes. The til takes less than 1 minute because it starts popping. So the minute it starts popping, you know you can keep a lid on it for some time. But see that it doesn't get burned because burnt til will really spoil the taste of the chutney. So when you're roasting all the ingredients, be very careful. Don't just leave it unattended because it might get burnt and the entire chutney will get ruined. The next thing is, the ingredients. Now, the first time when you're making a recipe, always follow the ingredients that the person who's showing you the recipe is telling you about. Give it a taste. But the next time you can always alter it. Like sometimes if you don't want to put coconut in this chutney, you can skip that. If you want to increase the amount of chana dal, you can increase that. So, but the first time you're making it, always follow the recipe of the person who's showing it to you, and then you can always make changes the second time around. I have ground the wet ingredients separately and then added them to the dry ingredients. But you can also, put everything together. If you have a very good mixer, put everything together and grind it. It gives you the same result. But I like to do it this way, and it always turns out much better than rather putting everything together. So you can do it either way. Now for storing the chutney, store it in a clean, dry glass bottle. You can keep it at room temperature for about say 3 to 4 days if it is not very hot. Otherwise, you can refrigerate it and it lasts for almost a whole year if you refrigerate it. Or if you keep it in a nice, dark, cool place like a pantry. Don't keep it exposed too much to the heat for more than 4 to 5 days because it has coconut in it. It might get spoiled. But if you're not using coconut, then you can keep this chutney out and it will last for a month outside, but then I would suggest that you refrigerate it. That's about all the hints that I can think of at the moment. If you have any questions about the recipe, please write to me in the comment section below. And if you like this recipe, then don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and go and check out all my recipes. I have more than 1,000 recipes on Akshata's Recipes with an apostrophe S. So thank you guys so much for supporting my channel by watching my videos. Do spread the word about my channel, share my recipes with family and friends, and I'll catch you soon in my next video. This is Akshata signing off. Take care of yourselves, stay healthy, stay fit, and be loving and kind to one another. Till we meet again. Bye. So friends, let's start with today's chutney. Now here I've heated up a pan, and now I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of oil. Let the oil heat up. Once the oil is nice and heated up, I'm going to add 1 cup of raw peanuts. Now fry the peanuts well till you get the aroma of the peanuts and even the peel of the peanuts turns to a little darker brown color. So this should take you about a minute. Now we're going to add about 7 to 8 fresh curry leaves. Now fry the curry leaves also. Next, I'm going to add 3 green chilies that I've just cut up into halves. Now, I generally use the light green chilies because they're not very spicy. The dark green chilies are spicy. So, if you're using the dark green chilies, then just use about 1 or 2 small chilies. But with the lighter green chilies, you can use 3. Just cut them up into half. Now, fry the chilies well till you get this whitish tinge on the peel of the chilies. Now I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of chana dal. Fry this also very well. All of the ingredients need to be really fried nicely on a low to medium flame. Now this chutney is so delicious, and it goes so well with dosas, idlis, puri, bhaji, with anything at all. Now next I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of tamarind. Fry all of it well till you get the aroma of all the ingredients for at least a minute. It's important to fry all of the ingredients for a minute. Now after a minute, just turn off the heat and let all the ingredients cool completely for at least another 10 to 15 minutes. Now once all the ingredients have cooled completely, we're going to transfer it to a mixer jar. Also, the shelf life of this chutney is quite long. If you refrigerate it in an airtight container, you can last for almost a week. Now I'm going to add 1 cup of freshly grated coconut. Next, I'm going to add half a cup of coriander leaves. I'm going to add salt to taste. And I'm going to add 1 cup of water, but a little bit at a time. This is only half a cup. So 1 cup, I used 1 cup completely, and I'm going to grind it to this kind of a thick but liquidy paste. Now transfer this paste to a bowl, because now we're going to temper it or give it a tadka or a phodni. So I've taken my small pan, or my cuddler as you call it, which is used for tempering. Heat 1 teaspoon of oil in it. Let the oil get nice and hot. Now once the oil is nice and hot, I'm going to add half a teaspoon of mustard seeds, which is rye or mohri. Let the mustard seeds start to splutter. Once they start to splutter, I'm going to add some dried red chilies. So I've just taken 3 red chilies and I've just broken them up, dried red chilies. And I'm going to add about 5 to 6 fresh curry leaves. Now fry all of this tempering really well. See that the chilies are nicely fried, the curry leaves are nicely fried. So this tempering also adds a lovely flavor to this chutney. And now I'm just going to add the tempering to this paste or the chutney. So you can see how bubbling hot the tempering is, and this will also kind of flavor and cook the chutney a little bit. Now mix the phodni or the tempering well into the chutney. And that's it, guys. Your beautiful chutney is all ready. It really tastes amazing. You've got to try it out. And on that day I made some oats idli. I'll leave a link to this recipe. It's very healthy and it's super delicious. It's a big hit at my place and it gets ready also pretty quickly. So I just had some lovely oats idli, which are so light and refreshing for a nice morning breakfast, and loads and loads of chutney. And friends, you must try out the oats idli also, as well as this chutney. I will leave the link to the oats idli recipe. You can try it out. So guys, I hope you like this video and I'll catch you soon in my next video. Take care guys. This is Akshata signing off. Bye.